Good afternoon, guys. October the 26th. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about management theory, organizational theory. I've got a couple of textbooks you can see in my hands here. These are actually from back in the day. One of them is human resource management, and the other is strategic business management. So we've got human behavior at work and business policy and strategic management. So today I want to talk about leadership style. Leadership style is pretty a popular topic. We see a lot of different leadership styles. If you are a business student, you're probably encountering leadership styles. I'm going to use the names from the textbooks that I've encountered. In this one book, they call it Autocratic management is one style. We've got a number of different styles in that book. We've got autocratic management, and we've got, they call it supportive management. I use participative management instead of supportive management. It's from a more modern textbook. I think participative management kind of spells it out. When you're doing participatively, working in a participatively managed organization, the manager is typically jumping in there. So you can think of a CEO. Your job as CEO, you're a deal maker. You set the values for the organization. You recruit people. You find people. You train people. And you make decisions. If you don't make product-based decisions, research-based decisions, you find people that can do that. That's your job. So one day you go to the front lines and you work the till. And that is an example of participative management. You're jumping in there, you are leading by example, and you're showing people that even at the top, they come down and work these other positions. Every position is an important position. Autocratically managed organizations tend to be top-down, need-to-know basis. The primary example is the military, and in the military, you do as you're told, and there's a very hierarchical structure, lots of stick, and over on the other side, we've got more carrot. We've got some different aspects of leadership that come into these different management styles. One, of course, is how to get people to do things, but other aspects we might want to focus on are information flows. So whether or not information is centralized or decentralized, need-to-know basis. We also have decision-making, whether or not decision-making is centralized or decentralized. So in this one textbook, they use examples of businesses that had decentralized decision-making. Staples was one of them. Albertson Foods was another example. We don't have Albertsons Foods in Canada, and I don't know if it still exists in the U.S. GM was an autocratically managed organization. UPS, autocratically managed organization. So we have these different styles of management. And so today I want to talk about a theory that I have about why these organizations, these types of management leadership exist, and what you can kind of do with those as an employee, as a leader, as a manager, how you can conceptualize, think of these as tools in a toolkit, or understand the environment that you're in. So if we think of them as a scale, management scale, and then we've got participative management on one side, and we've got autocratic management on the other. Participative, we could think of sports teams, astronauts, groups of astronauts, maybe high performance team like the pit crew for the Formula One, or startups or computer programmers. Yeah, there's some characteristics on the participative management side. Typically, highly skilled, voluntary. People want to be there. It takes a long time to develop the skill, and typically small organizations, small groups as well. And turnover ideally would be a lot lower. In your sports organization, you might make a couple of key trades in a year, but you want to keep people together so that they can learn to work as a high-performance team. On the other side, we've got really big organizations. There's training, but the training could be really quickly done in a lot of cases, and there is a lot of difficult things to do, but not necessarily highly skilled, just hard things to do, and a big demand for structure, and difficult to get people to do those things. So you can find a more autocratic type of an organization. So a couple of benefits for each organization. The benefits of running an autocratic organization is that it's easy to get people to do what they're told to do. You tell people what to do and they do it or they go. You can manage really large scale of people quickly, and there's a clear structure, there's a clear understanding, and you can keep people in line. You can get them to do tough things, and there are some benefits for being able to run an organization with that style. And on the other side, you can get high performance teams, which are very high performing, highly skilled. They can create wonderful things if you're thinking of creating wonderful products. If you are thinking of innovation, science, they can do highly technical things. For example, if you have a group of astronauts, in a space station, you're probably not. It's not going to look like you're not going to see an umpire and a coach arguing in the same way that you might if you are in a military setting, where you might see people going head to head with a little bit more of an aggressive, loud attitude. And as you go onto a space station, you're probably not going to see that as much. You're going to see a lot more composure, and you're going to see just a different style of organization and a different style of management. So ultimately, high performance is the goal for certain types of organizations. Could be the goal for a lot of organizations, but where you've got high performance demands, sometimes you might see these autocratically managed organizations use participative management in groups. So break everybody down into small groups, get them to work in teams. You've got one leader. You can have a lot of participation at that level, lots of communication, and then you can get the advantages sort of both of these management structures. So how can this be helpful for you? Well, if you are someone who wants to be in a participatively managed organization and you are in an autocratically managed organization, this can help you to understand where you are and give you some insight into the fact that not all organizations are like that. You may be able to maneuver yourself into another organization. And within these autocratic organizations, different departments, different teams might operate in different ways as well. So you might be able to, again, use the systems that exist within that organization to get yourself into a different organization. Or if you really, I'm not going to give you advice, to tell the manager how to do their management job. You'll probably get the boot. But just having this knowledge of what these different systems are and how they work can be helpful for you. And if you are somebody from the autocratic management organization, that's the kind of organization you're used to and you respect, and you find yourself in one of these sort of fluffier, participatively managed organizations, now maybe you know what some of the benefits might be. You might not want to be there. You might want to find another organization, or you might want people to do things in the way that you're used to doing them. But now at least you know how these organizations operate, why there might be some reason why people are doing that. So again, if you see people that are doing management in a way that you normally wouldn't do it, it might be helpful for you to understand. A lot of the situations are just not good management, but a lot of times there's a culture in place as well. And there's some reasons why those cultures are in place. So that's another one of those reasons can be, you've got a lot of people that come out of these big organizations, especially with our history. But as we're talking about coming out of, for example, World War II, a lot of organizations are founded with this autocratic principles in place. And it gets into the DNA of the organization, and there it is, and it works. It's something that they can use to get done. The organizations can trust the system, and the system works, and so that can help to explain why there are a lot of systems that operate in that way. Again, so the benefits of participatively managed organizations. Again, highly skilled, high performance. There's only so many NHL players in the league. You've got millions of people, but you've got maybe 1,200 or 1,500 if you count the people that are suited up, or you count the people that are under contract. A very, very small percentage of the population, which means that you're going to have the most highly skilled people. So here, NHL, NBA, high sports teams, astronauts, pit crew for the Formula One, computer programmers, you're going to have different style of management is going to work to get the best out of these people. These are hard skills to learn. They take personal coaching. It's a matter of coaxing people into high performance. And the benefits of high performance are ultimately, if you think of what has value in terms of organization, it could be creativity, it could be speed, it could be just some added intellectual value to the intellectual property of the organization. So that's a talk today about management science, organizational theory. There's a quote by Anton Saint-Exupéry that says, if you want to build a ship, don't gather people and tell them what to do, but rather teach them the endless meaning of the sea. So if you watch this video, now you know that sometimes you can teach them the endless meaning of the sea, and sometimes it might be better just to tell them, to go and get something done. So there's a couple of different ways that you may want to look at it. I hope this video helped with your understanding of management science, maybe got you thinking a little bit more about management science, about how to get things done, about participative management, about organizational theory. And thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.